All right, Map fam, don't mind the background. I was starting to set up Halloween decorations, and my daughter's new birthday present started tearing them down. Anyway, today we're going to take a look at NECA's Ahab Ultimate Edition Predator figure. And this guy is from a Dark Horse comic called Fire and Stone, or Predator's Fire and Stone. Now, it's cool because I was going to read the comic, venture out of the movies, I should say, and read the comics, read the novels, the Predator ones. And if there's anything cool, I was going to do a video based on any cool stories from that or something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The day I started reading the Predator, Fire and Stone, which is neat because it appears like it's connected to a 4-part Predator, Fire and Stone, 4-part AVP, Fire and Stone, a Prometheus, Fire and Stone, and then an Alien, Fire and Stone. And it seems like they all connect. On the back here you can see an engineer. I'm assuming they all connect. He looks really rad. I'm digging this. I'm definitely digging this. The box itself is artwork itself. Now I was going to review it because I was going to do the story too. And then when he arrived, the online images, it was like, okay, we'll review it and then get rid of him or sell him. The online images, though, don't do him any justice. I took all his stuff off. We're going to look at him in a second, but look at all the stuff he come with. And he is pretty cool. First thing first, his biomask. In the story, when I first started reading it, some kind of creature cracks it right here, and it busts all the way through. So I guess these scratches are NECA's way of showcasing that, because he doesn't use it so far as I can tell in the beginning after he gets it busted. But anyway, this thing looks really cool. The way it's designed, sculpted, and the way it's painted. I love the eyes, the look of the eyes there. And it's open too because you could clip this on him, even though it's got really cool sculpt work. Sculpt work on the inside. But this one, instead of having an alternate head, you would actually just clip this on his mandibles, and it goes on just like that. Now, it is going to be a little poofier than if it's an alternate head, obviously, and I might not even have that on there right. I like this too. Check that out. It's like the Elder Predator. That's so neat. When you have everything together, he's definitely really cool. Anyway, so he's also got 2 alternate wrist gauntlets. These wrist blades are the doubles, which is like a really thin, fragile plastic. It reminds me of this soft plastic that they use on the figures. It's like NECA soft. And then these remind me of McFarlane Toys figures. It's that hard, brittle plastic. But the alternate ones are the triple blades, which I'm assuming that's something from the comic. But you can see the different type of paint on here with the type of plastic it is. It's got that look like it is shining, you know, blade right there, like it's metal. Neat. Anyway, different sculpt work, but you can't even tell because even though the sculpt work, they went through the trouble of doing different sculpt work, it is really similar, but it's different because this is a little bigger. So you need to case the different blades separately, because you can't just switch the blades. You need the different gauntlets. And if you wanted to clip them on, they are definitely easy. You have the indents there, and then the pieces that stick out here, and you just simply pop them on. And then when you pop them off, I don't even put them on all the way, maybe not, but when you pop them off, you just grab the end there, and they come right off. Don't mind him. Anyway, moving on to the smart disc. That's cool. This is an open smart disc, as opposed to the City Hunter. I believe he comes with a closed one. And that's when they open it up and they chuck it, and it cuts you in half, and it magically leaves your upper half of the body hanging in there in the air. That's a joke, but you got his staff, which is really thin and really fragile. Trying to make it so you get some focus on here. Yeah, I mean, it does look good. The paintwork and how it shines. If you can see some of the handle, the sculpting in the handle, and then it's got this really thin, tapered end on here, and I mean it is thin. It's definitely pliable though, but you want to be careful taking this out of the package, especially this end. It's so thin, and it has just this fragile feel to it. Anyhow, next up you have an engineer skull, which is massive. I should show you a regular skull in the NECA line. All right, here. I'm actually waiting. Zavi's supposed to send me an art print of the Predator from the original movie, but here's the engineer skull, right? And then here is a Predator holding the regular human-sized skull. Look at that. That's side by side. Check that out. That is massive. Like, here's a jungle hunter, right? And then you can see the two different sizes. That's huge. And it's got like a blue type paint on it. Yeah, look at it. It's definitely so much different. All right, next up is an engineer gun. And I am assuming that's what this is. When I got the figure, I skimmed through the issue and I saw them shooting this, but I couldn't figure out where they got it from. So I'm assuming that's an engineer gun, because if you look at the gun itself, it kind of looks like the art style from Aliens. And it's actually really cool. I like that. You can just take a glance at this and it has that art style that is so striking. But anyway, I'm assuming that's how it goes. And because there's the trigger. Here you go. Nice up close look. They got some nice dry brushing on there. Great sculpt, I think. I have no clue what it looks like in the comic besides that one little glimpse I got, but I mean, geez, that looks nice. Anyhow, next up you have his shoulder cannon. And I believe this is the same shoulder cannon that goes on the Jungle Hunters and a lot of other Predators. I love this style shoulder cannon though. And it's got that little hose, black hose. Be careful, because it's a separate piece just glued in there. And I can imagine that'll come off easily. I love the detail and the weathering, especially on this plasma cast, this shoulder blaster. I think I was about to say it right, but I was trying to say there's some of them that are just painted really poorly, I think. And it matches their armor. It's just, I dig the really weathered look. Some of them are just all one, like this. It's all like that color. And I don't like how that comes off. Anyway, he's got alternate hands. He's got left hand that opens up. And then he has a right hand that is holding the staff. His other right hand can hold the smart disc or the skull. And then his other left hand, he fell down on the spider webs. His other left hand can hold either the staff if you wanted or something else. And he's got this necklace, which we'll toss on him in a second. Again, great sculpt, great paintwork, great weathering. I love how the teeth are like a yellow. Yeah, there we go. Man, those teeth look good. They did a good job on that. Nice and tiny. Anyhow, some type of animal trophy skull he's got. And then, I think I covered everything. Then he comes with his cape. His like half cape. But let me slap them on and you can see what he looks like. Or actually, if you want to just see what he looks like bare, this is his head. He's got longer dreads. I really dig the longer dreaded look. He's got an eye. That's the only con, though, is his eye's really hidden under there. And then he's got 3 mandibles because he's missing one. When he lost his eye, he also lost a mandible. He's got his tribe marking up there. The same paint, style, color, weathering with the black tube as like his shoulder cannon. And I do believe this comes out. You know what I was going to mention? This wire here, be real careful with this. Yeah, this opens up. Now, when I first got him out of the package, I was going to say, why do they have this wire there? You can't bend his arm at all. And given you can't bend it all the way, like this is double jointed right here, right? You got 2 joints there. You can't do that because that wire there, but you can actually bend it 90 degrees at least. So that's on the plus side, because even though it's not long and it kind of restricts it, it is flexible. I mean, it really is, unless you tear it out. I know some of them are known to get ripped out if the super glue don't keep them in there. And you do get good articulation in the wrist. You got a hinge there and I believe a swivel. Yeah, a hinge and a swivel. So that's pretty good. I figure I'll let you see the paint job through his body. It's the standard articulation. It's the better articulation from years ago. The articulation pretty much just gets better and better. He has a little crunch on the waist. He spins on the waist. He's got plenty of articulation on his elbows, knees, ankles. Look at that. What's that, a little bone? I didn't even see that before. He's got great weathering all around, even on that piece on his dreads. And he's got like this fur skirt going on with armor on his legs, and then the netting's painted well, armor running down, and then the predator feet. So we want to put his necklace on, just lay that down flat, and then we're going to put his cape on. These markings will go on the inside, so you find those markings, drape it over. And I believe this type of cape should actually go over one side. I believe that's how that works. It's not like a full cape. I guess you can use it as that. I don't know how he looks in the comic with a cape, so I'm not sure. But drape it over like that and then pop his head back on. You know what? As we're getting them ready, I should mention there's a little clip in the box. The usual clip that holds the staff. It comes separate and taped in the box. You just take it out and put it right there, and then you can actually clip this. I'm not going to do it now. I don't think there's any real reason to clip it to his back. You could do it if you want, but you would just essentially clip the gun. I think it goes like this, and it clips on the trigger, if I remember correctly, and then he kind of carries it on his back. I don't have any need to do that, though. That's not how he's going to go up on the display. I'll show you guys what he's going to look like on the shelf, but I am probably going to go with something like this, where you can see the color from the cape draped over. He's got his shoulder cannon on. He's holding his staff. He's got his skull out. I mean, I really like that. And he looks badass. And I'm going to put him up next to the other predators that are holding out skulls, and then kind of keep his equipment by him. You'll see in a second. Alright, so he's going to go something like this. Now, I don't normally keep the alternate hands. Sometimes I do stick them in the bases. With the new Predator, I just threw his alternate arms right there, but that's from the new movie. But usually I keep him in a bag, out of sight. But this guy is, I mean, he fits in perfect. It's a little redundant because we have this guy holding the skull. He doesn't even come like that. I just threw the skull in there just because. But we got the video game Scarface holding the skull, looking like a medieval badass with his extra head on display. You got this young blood, the enforcer, I'm sorry, with the bad blood head decapitated on the ground. And then you got the other dark horse, Ahab, the new one. And I think he fits in perfect because they got spears. He got his spear. He's holding his skull. I might have to tweak it to get him in a little bit of a better spot. But I mean, I like the way he's posed right now. And he just looks absolutely awesome. And these bases, they are concrete texture spray just on a styrofoam circle. They used to have them at the dollar store for a pack of them for $1. And I would spray them in concrete. You see, this guy's got it. This guy's got a real cool one. I think he has the most decorative one because he's the original Predator. And yeah, just kind of set it up real cool. We got different Predator heads and stuff. I mean, skulls from Aliens and Predator. But just kind of how it's looking so far. And I think Ahab fits in perfect. And his helmet, it does lift up. Because what you do is, since that's styrofoam, you can actually push down on it. And it'll indent slightly. And it'll hold. Same thing with the Smart Disc. You can stick it in there and it holds and kind of helps display it. Like this Predator here. You can stick the grass in the styrofoam and it just holds it up. Man, I love the original mask. Look at that. That's so badass. Anyway, I gotta say, NECA did a fantastic job on this Ahab. I can't wait to read the story and see if there's something really cool to make a video out of. Maybe the story itself will make me love this hero Predator, I guess I can call him. We gotta come up with a name for the Predators that aren't just side characters. So they call the zombies, you see them all the time, hero zombies. Not all the time, but you know what I mean. The ones you remember, the iconic ones. I think that's a better name. But yeah, they're called hero walkers, hero zombies. So he might be the hero Predator. They don't have to be an actual hero, but it's one of the iconic looking ones. But I think they did a sick job on that. Like I said, I was going to get them and look them over on the channel and just connect that review with a story review of the comic. And he looks so awesome. I just had to keep him on the shelf with the other Predators. And when I get that print finally, this thing will look proper. Anyway, this is the NECA Ultimate Predator. I think they call it Ultimate Edition Ahab Predator. And I give him a high recommend. Grab them, definitely. Grab all of them. Grab any of them. I also wanted to show you guys. I grabbed a Arnie for the first time ever. Never thought I'd need an Arnie toy, but I got this steelbook and I love how that looks. And I want to set them up like that steelbook and get this a little shelf that is this wide and hang the shelf like on the side where my TV is. So that way we'll have a little bit of grass, we'll have this steelbook, and then under the steelbook, these guys will be on the shelf. That'll be displayed. These guys will be on the shelf in the same position of the steelbook. I think it'll look pretty cool. Now, he's almost perfect. I just got to position him a little better. But Arnie, when he arrived, I was like, holy crap, he looks just like Arnie from the poster. Like, that's a scene from... They did an amazing job. It's almost perfection of how he looked in the movie. It's creepy in an amazing way. And then I looked and I thought, ah, crap. I gotta get the other version of him. The one where he's wearing his commando suit, his gear. I think he's called like Extraction Dutch or something. So yeah, I gotta get another Dutch. Alright guys, thanks for coming by the review room to check out the Ahab Predator. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.